I'm in Texas right now, in Corpus Christi, to be precise, and I'm at a Red Roof Inn, which, if we go back 30 years, used to be a Days Inn in 1995. And it just so happens that at this location, on March 31st, 1995, is where the singer Selena was murdered. And this is where she fled her murderer and went to the lobby of this place to seek help, and she got help. They called an ambulance, and the ambulance got here in less than 2 minutes, but it was too late. She was too badly wounded. She had lost a lot of blood, and she died. And the murderer was actually somebody from her inner circle. Her name is Yolanda Saldivar in Spanish. And she was the president of Selena's fan club. And she had been accused of embezzling money from Selena. And she was about to be fired. But she had in her possession some tax documents that Selena needed. So before firing her, they asked her to turn over those documents. And it was agreed that she would turn over those documents, and they decided on a place to meet. And that place was here at this motel. And once they were here, they were in what was then room 158, and they had a heated argument. It got so intense that people in the neighboring rooms could hear the argument, and then reportedly Yolanda pulled out a gun, a pistol, and shot Selena. And that's when Selena fled to the lobby and sought help, and they did try to help her, but it was not successful. When all of this went down, I was 4 years old. I wasn't quite 5 years old yet, but it happened in 1995. And I can remember the day pretty vividly. It's probably one of my earliest memories that I know for sure happened. And I remember seeing the nonstop coverage of the standoff that happened after the shooting. I think the standoff went on for something like 9 hours before Yolanda agreed to surrender to the police. And I remember it was a rainy day. I remember most of the standoff happened at night, so it was dark. There was a red pickup truck, and that's really all that the camera showed. It was the pickup truck and the police surrounding the pickup truck. And I remember seeing my parents glued to the television, watching the coverage in Spanish. Probably it was Univision, where they watched. And it's kind of surreal. The place that is one of my earliest memories is now the place where I am staying tonight, for one night only. And you know, it's there aren't really any suitable words to describe this strange feeling of this place that was burned into my memory when I was 4 years old, and now I'm there in person, and knowing that there was a tragedy at the time. If I could go back in time I'd probably go back in time 30 years and try to, you know, prevent that from happening. Oh, and another thing, the room where it all happened at the time was room 158. Apparently, they changed the room. The room that was 158 is now room 150. It just so happened that when I checked in here, I didn't ask for any particular room. I wasn't going to even mention the subject. But I did a double take when I was given my room key. I thought I got that very room, room 150. But I actually did not get 150. I got room 154. So it's super close to where it all went down. But that's okay, I'm good with it. I didn't necessarily need to have the exact room. Just being here is pretty surreal enough for me. That's the room 150. The former room 158. When it all went down, I understand she went in this direction, fleeing from her attacker and running to the lobby for help. She went through here. On the right of here is the pool area. Try not to show the pool area because there's people there right now. All of this is what she had to cut through. Right past that staircase is the building where the lobby is, the office. She still had to walk all of this to find help. And all the while, Yolanda was behind her. This little alleyway. To the right of here is the building. And past the Coke vending machine is the office. It took me about 2 minutes to walk that entire thing at a normal pace. And that's how long of a distance she had to flee, spilling blood everywhere, before she found help. And the poor girl, she was just 23 years old when that all went down. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a noise in the background. That's just the AC. I'm in Corpus Christi in Texas in July, and it's blistering hot right now. So I have the AC running. It's really surreal being here. I had to stop filming when I was outside because there were too many people out and I didn't want anybody to appear in the shot or get in the way of the shot. But that trail that she had to go through before finding somebody to ask for help, it's heartbreaking to think she was doing that all after having been shot, all after spilling blood everywhere and being in pain, and it didn't even work. It was for naught. From what I understand, she lost consciousness right there in the lobby and never really regained it. The hospital where she was taken, I think I heard it's not in operation anymore. It's been that long. It's been 30 years since this happened. But they, back then when it was in operation, and they took her there. Everybody knew that it was a celebrity that had been shot, and they reportedly made a valiant effort to save her, but it didn't work. If it happened here, some fans come here for that reason, but the hotel itself does not like to talk about it, or so I've heard. I went inside the lobby, and they do have one photo of Selena in there. So I mean, they do love Selena here in this city, and apparently in that lobby, and they do recognize her and acknowledge her. But from what I understand, if anybody asks about that day, they're trained to say something like, I cannot confirm or deny that anything ever happened here on that day. That's what they're reportedly told to say. I don't think I want to go in there and ask, just because I don't want to be like, I don't want to sound insensitive or whatever, and I don't want to make them uncomfortable. But I think it's just a little bit fascinating how the great lengths that this place has gone to not talk about it, not talk about what happened here on that day. I'm outside the Red Roof Inn right now, which is what the former Days Inn is now called. And you could kind of tell it looks basically the same as back in 1995 when the tragedy took place. What you see on the left is the office, but that did not yet exist in 1995. Right around that wall right there was a sign that said Days Inn. Now it's gone, obviously. And behind the U-Haul is where Yolanda had parked her truck in her standoff with the police. I'm at what appears to be a random cemetery. There's nobody here that I know or knew, but this happens to be the resting place of Selena, who died 30 years ago in 1995. Right there. There's a Coke can, which is very appropriate because she was one of the spokespeople for Coke in the 1990s. It's pretty surreal. I've imagined what it was like being here, seeing her resting place. There were a few people here before me, but right now there's nobody except me and the people buried here.
She continues to press on for public. Fans, both new and old, still come to visit from across the globe.